Hey guys, it is Emery and Ashton out here in the barn, and we're going to be following Ashton around to kind of get a glimpse at what she does throughout the year, honestly, because we're going to be talking about quite a bit. But we are here to follow you around. Do you have a title that you like to call yourself?
I like to call myself, ruler of all, really, but no. I guess it would be a manager of some sort.
Yeah.
Graydon and I both manage the farm. So yeah, basically that's it. That's right.
So you are in charge mostly of the goats at this point, yeah? Because Graydon does more like special projects and stuff?
Yeah, I do the goats, rabbits, chickens, they're just chicken. And then the dogs.
And how many animals overall would you say that you're pretty much in charge of?
Like over 100.
I mean, we
How
have
many chickens do we have?
like 25, 30?
Oh yeah.
Well over 100, because we've got like 80 goats or so, and then a bunch of rabbits, chickens, and eight dogs. Hi.
He's so excited.
So there goes Castle. So how long have you been the one of the barn managers?
Let's see, I've been here 3 years, but I would say like a year and a half or so.
Yeah. And what is one of the most difficult parts about managing or just being here and working in the barns?
The most difficult part would probably be making sure, that the animals, stay healthy. Like,
Yeah.
because it can easily like creep up on you, kind of thing.
Do you have a favorite breed of animals? Whether that be like,
Okay.
I said that because I was gonna say breed of goats, and I was like, well, it could be any of the animals, I guess. We're going this way.
Yeah. Okay. Species? Is that what you're
Yes,
talking about?
species or breed if it wants to be
I like goats
alpines.
and rabbits the most here. Well, I do like dogs. Okay, I like most of them. I guess I'm not the biggest fan of chickens. I don't know why. I'm just not the biggest fan.
Alright. So do you prefer the Nigerians or the alpines?
I like both. That's just me. I like both.
What are some of the reasons that you like? So these are the Nigerians. What are some of the reasons you like the Nigerians?
I like their size. I like that they're smaller. They can fit under everything. They do goofy things. Goats in general are just goofy.
Do you have a favorite Nigerian?
Favorite Nigerian. I have a favorite baby. I can't just pick one. I don't have one.
All right, notable mentions.
I like Dobby as the buckling, little buckling.
He's the one all the way in the back there.
Yeah. And I like Yoplait. This little, there we go, that one. And then out of the adults,
Granola likes you best.
yeah, Granola loves. Granola's not just a nibbler; she's a biter. She starts to nibble and then she like really bites you, and it hurts. It really hurts.
Yep. So you've been here for about 3 years. What are some ways that you have grown in your role, and just ways that you've grown as a person through the work?
Through the work?
Or the job?
Role-wise, I guess I've moved up. From when I first started, it was just cleaning stalls, and that was basically it. And now it's everything. It's gone from cleaning stalls. Well, I still clean stalls because we don't have that many people working here. So clean stalls, from taking care of all of the goats, like feeding them, giving them shots, worming them, making sure they're healthy, and
yeah,
that's basically it.
So
Baby goat experiences, I do a lot of those.
I was going to say, how has the pandemic affected the work here? Because you're not an online business like majority of the people at working in the business.
This is granola, by the way.
So
How's
how
it
is it?
affected? Well, it's definitely slowed down since we don't have people here on the farm all the time anymore. I guess it's less to worry about too. When you had people on the farm, you had to worry about making sure things were picked up, like your tools or stuff were put away so that people didn't get injured or something like that.
That makes it sound like she leaves tools laying around everywhere.
Ow!
She does not. She just means more like the wheelbarrows all have to get put all the way away instead of being able to,
Make things look nice, like,
Right.
really pretty.
Even if it's inconvenient to put them all the way in the back. It has to happen when people are here. Whereas when there aren't people, you can leave them closer by where you're going to be working with them. Not leaving them in the stalls or anything, but like they can be put partially away. So Castle is pretty much your dog of the 8 that we have, and he spends pretty much all day with you.
Yeah, pretty much. He follows me around everywhere.
All right, so go ahead and walk me through what a normal work week would look like for you.
Okay. Well, Mondays I get here at 7, and I wait for Graydon to get here as well, and
he also gets here at 7.
Graydon gets here at 7, and Sam, and then also in our office is Emery and Indigo. So in the mornings we do a prayer with everyone there, and that kind of gets our day going. And then we all split off into our own little sections or whatever. I typically check my emails in the morning, or the barn emails, and then I go and check on the cheese because I'm making cheese, and I deal with that in the morning before I get all gross and nasty.
Right.
It's food.
And you work in a barn.
And I work on a barn, yeah. I try to take care of that before I deal with any of the animals. And then I go around and check everything, make sure everybody's doing okay, make sure things are fed. I like to do a walk around of the goats because you can easily miss something if you're not really looking kind of thing. You can just glance right over it. Isn't that right?
Right. So you know all of the goats by name at this point, yes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
There are a few that I have to think about before I get it, but
which ones are the hard ones?
the ones that look alike. So the black ones. So if I'm not looking at Secret and Sierra,
mother
they both
daughter.
they're mother and daughter, and they both have a white spot on the same spot. And if I'm not close enough, I don't remember who's who. I can't tell who's who. But now I go off of if I'm close enough. I'm Secret's got an older looking head.
I mean, she should. She
is old.
She's getting up there.
And
second oldest goat on the property, I believe.
One of
Yeah.
I think so. But yeah, I pretty much know all of them, and then some of the baby Nigerian dwarfs. They're twin sisters that look alike. They're actually right here. Matilda and Mystic. They're both black and white. And
that one's Matilda. That one's Mystic.
Yeah. So I have to make sure the rest I got pretty well.
Right. Okay. So what about Tuesday through the rest of the week?
Tuesday I also get here at 7, and then I basically start the morning off the same way because I get all of the things that need to be done every day in the morning, and then after that we either do hooves or we clean stalls about every other day, and then medications. It just depends on the time of the year, time of day. And weather, I guess. If it's raining out, we can't really do anything outside, which really sucks because a lot of our job is outside.
Right.
So sometimes we just have to tough it out and be out in the rain anyways.
Yeah. So special projects look sort of like fencing, hooves, medication. What are some other special projects that have to get done pretty much regularly throughout the year?
So bush hogging, turning the manure. You can't really do that when it rains because no one wants to be out in the rain. Since it doesn't have a cab on it, it's not fun.
Right, because we do that with a tractor. We don't do that by hand.
Yeah, we did that by hand. It would take forever.
There's a lot of poop.
Yeah, I got a giant pile out there right now, and that gets done every 6 weeks, so it's not that frequent. Cleaning the stalls with the tractor. You can't do the outside really if it's raining, because then you're just soaked. And then right now it's breeding season, so if you want to clean the inside, you have to kick all of the goats outside. And then if it's raining, they just get soaked. So.
Right, and when she says it's breeding season, that's for the Alpines because they're seasonal breeders.
Yeah.
So the does only come into heat in the fall, so that they have their kids in January, February, and March. Nice. So that's pretty much the rest of your week is pretty much just special projects throughout the individual days, but it's not necessarily consistent on a specific day.
Yep, it's not.
Okay. So what about? Go ahead and walk us through like a year real quick, just like month by month, like highlights of what happens each month.
Well, I guess January is kind of a slow month because you're not really milking any of the goats. Well, you won't be milking any of the goats. The one time we did milk through. We're not going to be milking any of the goats, so you don't have to worry about that. Basically, you just clean stalls and feed them.
Right.
And,
cleaning stalls is a little bit more work though because of the temperature.
Yeah, and you're putting bedding down, so it takes a little bit longer. And then we kind of take time to like clean things that we don't normally get to.
Right.
Like the insides of buildings.
Is there a specific thing that you absolutely hate cleaning the most of everything?
I would say the milk barn, the dividers that the goats go in, and the feed trough. That's not fun to clean.
Yeah, they get pretty nasty.
They can, yeah. They get pretty gross.
So that's January.
Oh, and the poop catch bin thing from the milk barn. That's not fun to clean either.
Yeah.
Because it's just a pit in the ground that you have to get all the nastiness out of.
It's like the
It's
sewer
the water,
drain
yeah. It's the
thing. Like it's the catcher before it goes to the sewer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you have to clean that out and take it to the poop pit. So that's really fun.
Fun. And you guys do that in January?
No, not in
Okay.
January. I'm just saying, like, that's the thing that I don't like to clean.
I was like, ew, that would be the worst month to do that.
Yeah, so January's pretty slow. It's just, things that need to be done, like taking care of the animals, really. And then February is kidding season. So that is just
Chaos.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be that bad this year.
I don't.
Because there's less goats.
Well, and we've just gotten so much better at it.
Yeah.
Like, we know what we're looking for.
Yeah, so kidding season can be crazy. It can be. But then that takes up a lot of time.
Do you like kidding season?
Yes and no. I like kidding season. I do like all of the babies, but once the babies reach like a certain age, they kind of get annoying. They're still fun to watch them play and whatnot, but if you're trying to feed them and they're like knocking you over while you're carrying like the lamb bar that's full of milk,
right,
and then you spill it all over the place, which isn't fun because it happens.
Yeah.
There's that. I also I kind of like assisting the goats. I find that interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's not really like anything else that I've ever done. Like, it's in a class all by itself.
Yeah. I don't know, I just like things like that. But anywho, for the next month, March is
still kidding season.
Still kidding season. So basically the same thing.
Yeah. February, or oh my gosh, that's backwards.
Yeah,
April.
You're going the wrong way. April, you're basically raising the babies for the next 6 months.
Right.
Making sure that they, get enough milk, which we have plenty of, and then keeping them healthy.
I was gonna say April we start to see some serious greenery, and we can start putting the goats back out onto pastures and wooded areas. So we have to worry about bloat and start putting them out softly.
Yeah. I personally like to put them out in the woods.
Yeah.
They just get so excited. And it's so fun to watch them, especially on the hill back there. They love, I don't know what it is, but they try to jump off of it, but end up falling sideways and sliding down the hill.
Nice.
It's just really funny. But I like that part, taking them out to the woods.
It's also really wet, so it's not necessarily the funnest month. The most
April?
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. April's wet, but they still. So May. Guess we kind of forgot about it could be breeding as well for
Nigerian dwarfs.
So sometimes, depending on when we want to have Nigerian dwarf kids, there might be breeding during that time as well.
Right. But we don't have as many Nigerian dwarves,
Yeah.
and the reason we can breed them in the spring is because they're seasonal breeders. They're year-round
I was
breeders.
like, they're not.
They come into heat year-round.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's May. What about
And
June?
June and July are
Hot.
basically, yeah, they're hot. We do get a lot of stuff done outside, like fencing, cleaning up things. So like last year we moved all of our extra fencing to a different location so that weeds wouldn't grow up in them.
Right.
So that was fun. It took a while, but at least we have the tractor, so it made it easier.
Right. Do you have favorite weather? Because like I know you don't like the rain, but like what's too hot? Like.
I would say 70 to 75 is good.
Nice.
I want to not to wear a sweatshirt. I like wearing tank tops.
Yep.
To work. Yeah. And then rainy weather, as long as it's not like super humid or cold, it's got to be that nice,
Right.
cool temperature that I like.
That makes sense.
And then I don't typically get super cold in the winter either.
Lucky.
I don't know why, but everybody seems to put on their like Carhartts and stuff before I do. I mean, I guess I do know why. I am from farther north, but
Yep.
I don't know. I just refuse to put it on.
Okay. So that's
And then
June, July.
August, September. So this year we had Nigerian dwarf babies. So it's
Right.
basically like kidding season again.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's garden work. We also do garden work as well.
Yeah.
Like last year, I did all of the blackberries.
Oh gosh.
That took a long time.
So when she says did all of the blackberries, she means trimmed and pruned and rethreaded all of the blackberries through our cattle paneling, which is our trellis to keep them up. So I don't know. We have there's four rows. Each row's gotta have 30 plants. So I mean, there's like
a lot more than that. I don't know. There's a lot.
there's a
out there.
ton.
It took a while.
It is, yeah.
I
It's
took a
crazy.
before and after photo of it, and it was like a giant difference. But
So yeah, garden work happens a bunch. And then you get into the
then
later
October,
months.
November, and December. So in November we start drying off the goats. So basically we're milking the goats from kidding season until November, December area. Some goats like to they don't want to dry off. Like
Right.
we have to like force them to dry off. So that's basically it. Oh, and then right now September's breeding season.
Right.
And that can be a pain if the goats, specifically the bucks, start fighting between each other. They can damage the gates and then break through, and then the pens mix.
Right.
And then we have to like hurry up and get the bucks out of there.
Because our bucks weigh up to 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around there. I'd say Vlad's the heaviest. The rest would probably like slightly under 200.
Yeah. So they get pretty big, and when there's girls involved, they go a little crazy.
So far this year we haven't had any problems with them destroying fences, but last year they literally put like dents in the fence.
Crazy.
Yeah. But nobody's mixed this year, so we're going for a pretty good breeding season
I was
so
gonna
far.
say, and we're how far in are we?
Week 2.
Week 2. Look at that.
Week 2? Yeah, week 2.
Yeah, because it's October
Or is it
5th.
3?
October 5th is like when we're done, right?
6th, yeah.
6th.
Yeah, you're close.
Ah, I was this
We were
close.
one day off.
All right.
But
So
yeah.
that's the months. All right. So we'll head out and you head this way. And all right. So you currently work very closely with Graydon as the management team, if you will, and then you have 2 other employees in the barn.
We have Sam and Connell.
Right. So
Sam's a full-time employee and Connell's a part-time employee. Both of them milk the goats. And then on weekends they clean stalls and stuff like that and feed the goats.
Right. So you work pretty. Oh yeah, we can go in there. You work pretty closely with. Yeah, our shoes are dirty. Let's not. So you and Graydon manage. Anytime I've said you, I mean you and Graydon as the management team. You guys deal with. How many barns do you have on the property that you guys take care of?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 barns.
5. You're, right.
Yeah.
5 barns.
5 barns.
And a whole bunch of different shelters.
Yeah.
So do you guys get any walking in?
Huh. Not at all. No walking. Yeah, we get a lot of walking in because you're constantly going from one side of the farm to the other side of the farm.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you have a favorite of the barns?
Favorite? I think the middle one. It's kind of like our home location, though. Our headquarters.
It's the only one with air conditioning.
Yeah, it has
and heat.
And heating.
So,
heating.
Actually, that's not true anymore. The baby barn has 1 room.
Oh, right. You're right. Well, we're not really in that barn right now.
Yeah, and it's turned. The electric's turned off to that barn right now because it just doesn't need to be. That's where we got Castle from.
I know.
At the beginning of the video. All right. So this is the one barn all the way out there. It's raining today, so I'm not going out there to show you guys. And then the woods. That's where Ashton likes to go. The hill's down that way. She likes to go down there and watch the goats play around. They have multiple shelters out in the woods as well, so that they can lock the goats out there. And then there's the milk parlor here, the big barn over there, the baby barn's behind. Sorry, that's not the big barn. The Nigerian barn, and then behind that's the baby barn, and then the chicken coop and garden shed there. So that's their domain that they get to take care of.
And up there.
Oh yeah, and up there. We have some goats up there that are up there so that people can see goats, because when the pandemic happened, they were no longer allowed back here to see all of the goats. And so we moved the goats to them.
Sit down.
Alrighty. Well, did you have anything that you thought I missed about your kind of life? Anything that I didn't... Oh, you want to talk about... So, we can talk about how long you've been working with goats. Because, you've only been here for a little while, but before you were here, you have your own... You still have them.
Still have.
But, you did 4-H and degree in animal science. How is it, different here than it was in 4-H and stuff like that?
Well, I mean, I grew up with goats. I got them when I was 9.
What breed of goats did you grow up with?
So I started off, they were a mix. They were Alpine Nubian. They're mainly Alpine though, because they look like Alpines.
Ew. Sorry.
They look like Alpines, but one of the goats, their ears sort of did the
airplane.
Flop. Yeah, a little bit. I don't know, they just wasn't as large a scale as this, so I had less goats. Although we did end up with quite a few goats. In 4-H, I was in every show, every category they had. We had Nigerian dwarfs and Nubians, boars, and pygmies. I had pygmies as well. So I was in 4-H for 10 years. I showed the goats for 9 years.
So once we start showing goats, she's going to be in charge of that.
Yeah.
Mainly because none of us want to do it.
Yeah,
it's too much work.
I actually miss showing goats. I don't know. I was just at my county fair back from where I'm from, and I got to watch some of my cousins show again, and it just brought back memories of showing.
Yup.
And all that. And then I went to school for animal science. We didn't really learn that much about goats because
I'm shocked. There's no money in goats.
There's not that much. That they're mainly sheep at that barn. Sheep and the Dexter cows.
Fun. Alrighty. Well, anything I missed?
Not that I know of. I mean, I do make cheese. That's about it. I think we did mention that.
This is where she does the cheese. That's what we do with all of our extra milk. So right now, all of our Alpines are weaned, and we have plenty for soap. So the extra milk gets turned into cheese because it stores way better than milk.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a last.
so that's what you've been doing, and you're doing that pretty much. How many days do you do that every day?
We don't do Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
So we don't do it Friday, so the person on the weekend doesn't have to deal with the cheese on Saturday. That's why we don't do it.
That makes sense because cheese is a 2-day process.
Yeah. Sometimes 3.
Sometimes
3. If it's not ready, like later in the day that you have to take the cheese out, put it in the cheesecloth, and then you have to let it drip.
Right.
And if it's not ready by the end of the day, you wait till the next day.
Yeah, and it can differ depending on things like what the goats ate that day, the amount of milk solids, or fats and stuff that's in the milk. So all those different things can create differences in the cheese. It's not a.
Yeah.
We do it on a small enough scale that it can vary quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And I deal with the dogs.
Yep.
These are all the Pyrenees, Great Pyrenees. Not all of them, I guess not. We have
5 Pyrenees.
5. I said 4 the other day.
Yeah, we have 5 Pyrenees.
Right, we have 5.
Alrighty. Well, that is going to be a wrap. Just wanted to let you guys kind of catch a glimpse of what Ashton does, and I hope you guys have a great day, and we will catch you in future videos.
Work hard. Get dirty. Use good soap. GoatMilkStuff.com